Goals have certainly been a problem for both these two teams. Barnsley are the lowest scorers in the Championship this season. They have only notched 4 times, and they haven't hit the net in 3 games. It has been 288 minutes since they last scored a goal. Boy, do they need one. Pontus Jansson is the captain of Brentford. He will be part of the 3-man rearguard, trying to prevent Barnsley from doing just that. They themselves have stuttered in front of goal. Selling Neil Mopai to Premier League Brighton, Brentford have only managed 5 goals all season. And they themselves have lost their last 3 matches on the road away from Griffin Park. Despite the energy, it doesn't sound like it's going to be a goal fest, but both sides try to play with flair and with style, and they may just bring out the best in one another. That with a dash of history and a look back to glory days. The last time Barnsley were promoted from the Championship to the Premier League, they had one of the youngest sides in the country. Youth has certainly been the focal point, but that doesn't mean they can't reminisce. And Barnsley certainly are the youngest team in the Championship this season. Daniel Stendel has made 2 alterations from their defeat to Nottingham Forest. Apo Halme, the centre-back, was injured again against Forest last week, but is fit to start with the left-back Ben Williams suspended. It gives fit again Dimitri Cavare the chance to regain his place in the starting 11. The other change comes in attack, where goals are required. So Connor Chaplin comes in on the left side of the attack in the hope of increasing the supply line and the finishing touch. Ethan Pinnock, who starred for Barnsley in their promotion to the Championship, has been dropped to the bench for the last 4 games for Brentford and misses out again. Thomas Frank, the Brentford coach, wanted an extra man in the middle to give a bit of control to his team. So Kamohelo Mokotjo comes in for his first start of the season. That does mean a change of system. Ollie Watkins returns to a more conventional striker's role alongside Saeed Ben Rama. Watkins has scored 80% of Brentford's goals this season. Wally Woodrow was the top scorer for Barnsley last season with 19 goals to help fire them to promotion. He can score spectacular goals as well. And his only goal this season came against Charlton Athletic. He will be hoping to improve that return today. Kamohelo Mokotjo played for Feyenoord in the Eredivisie, Zwolle and Twente as well in Dutch football. He is making his first start in the Brentford team today since Easter Monday. Brentford haven't won at Barnsley for 15 years. And unless they manage it today, they will find themselves on their worst run away from home since March 2016. That's something that Daniel Stendel will certainly hope to embrace. His team desperate for all 3 points. Our referee today is David Webb. His assistants Lee Venimore and Jonathan Hunt going through the formalities for these two go into battle. It is an important juncture of the season for both Brentford and Barnsley. Brentford perennially expected of big things. Thomas Frank, their manager, certainly talking in glowing terms about his team today, despite the fact that they too have had their struggles and are only 3 points above Barnsley in the early season table. Barnsley in red shirts and white shorts, Brentford all in black with yellow trim, and they get us off and underway, shooting from left to right in the first half, and immediately surrender possession straight away. Jacob Brown getting an early touch of the ball. Not the kind of start that Brentford would have wanted. On days like this, with a slippy, greasy surface, your first touch is an important one. Barnsley trying to come forward early on. Jordan Williams joining the attack. Thomas. And Raya has to come out and take charge of the situation. You can see the water careering off the roof and onto the playing surface. It has been a very wet day in the north of England. Woodrow, an early opportunity. What a start! A spectacular start. Top scorer last season, off the mark again. 289 minutes without a goal. That's a way to break your drought. Barnsley are scoring again, and Cauley Woodrow is scoring again. The worst possible start for Thomas Frank and Brentford. But Barnsley snapped into gear right from the very off. Shuffled forward by Luke Thomas. Eventually it came to Woodrow. He only had one thing on his mind. His only other goal this season was against Charlton. But he's going to remember that one. That's a belter. Arcing round the defender. Out of reach of David Raya. And it nestled into the corner of the net. And the lowest goal scorers in the Championship this season are off the mark. It's their first goal since the 24th of August. Thomas. Williams. He's played left back and right back over the course of the season since coming back into the team. He had hip and thigh issues after problems last year. He is very versatile. Jansen with the header out for Brentford. Thomas Frank was talking about how sturdy Brentford had been. Defensively, he thought they'd been pretty smart over the course of the season, even if they hadn't scored many goals. Well, they've conceded rather early here. With the header away. It's penalised. Well, he'll be stunned. His team spent more money than anyone else in the Championship during the summer. 30 million quid they got back from the sales of Neil Mopai and Ezri Konza and others. Brought in 10 new faces. It certainly hasn't brought immediate success for Brentford. Jensen. Thomas has worked it out wide again. Chaplin looking for Thomas once more. Dealt with by Pontus Jansson. Barnsley's coach Daniel Stendel believed that they were creating enough chances. I thought converting them had been the biggest problem so far. That's why he hasn't been panicking. It's Brentford that will be doing that. A good recovery in the right fullback position by Cavare. Scurrying back to make sure he won that despite initially being dispossessed. It's a good slick ball out by Sibic. Good turn by Brown. And the cross failed to reach Cauley Woodrow. Tucked behind though by Janvier. It's the first corner of the game. Real bright start from Barnsley. Corner goes right underneath the crossbar. It's an easy take for David Raya. Slightly disappointing from the delivery. This might cause David Raya a few problems. Brentford just, you get the impression, haven't settled into the encounter. Cavare gets it back to Anderson once again. Kaplan chasing. Ryan has to come out of his penalty area here. Well, he's had a shaky first 7 minutes. Beaten inside 60 seconds. He's had to come out of his area on a couple of occasions to deal with some short balls that have been played back to him. 9 appearances so far this season, only 3 clean sheets. It might be one of them today. And now he's just trying to calm down the team in front of him. Look a little bit rattled by the start that Barnsley have made to the game. They press high up the field, Barnsley. They try to force you into errors. Watkins. Mokotjo. Rico Henry trying to progress down that left touch line. Benrahma looking for Watkins, tidied up well by Jordan Williams. A crunching challenge, that from Janvier. Daniel Stendel thought that today would be the day that they ended their goal drought. Don't have to wait too long. Thomas dispossessed. Williams tries to engage. Again, they win it high up inside the Brentford half. Williams. Alme. Cavare trying to play it down the right-hand side for Jacob Brown. And you can see why they persist with this system, Barnsley. They are attractive to watch. They're very comfortable in possession, high energy. It is the formula that Daniel Stendel employed to get them up from League One last season. Janvier. Benrahma combining well in midfield with Jensen and Norsgaard. Ultimately losing out. Anderson sees it back to his keeper. Big kick by Bradley Collins. It's a good take out of the sky as well by Connor Chaplin. It's still Connor Chaplin. Effort is blocked eventually by Pontus Jansson. But in tricky conditions like this, a touch like that will draw applause. It's a beautiful pass from Collins. Cabaré with the throw. It's Woodrow. Send a shiver down the spine whenever he picks the ball up from that sort of range. Cabaré trying to turn the cross in. Chaplin again. Comes back to Cauley. Woodrow again. Almost the same result. And they've got the bit between their teeth. Barnsley in the early stages. Chaplin involved once again. Set back towards Cauley Woodrow. Snapped at the effort. Wasn't too far away and took a deflection. Second corner of the game. Jean-Vier's got some ailment that needs dealing with. I think he's hurt his right hand here. Let's just have a look. Well, have been a follow through from Cauley Woodrow. And in the resulting collision, Jean-Vier seems to have picked up a hand injury. He's going to have to go off here as the corner comes in. Second corner of the game for Barnsley. There's a bunch of players stationed right at the front post here. Thomas, right under the goalkeeper again. Another easy take from the Spanish goalkeeper. David Raya, who joined in July from Blackburn Rovers. Ben Rama's trying to find Watkins. Tied it up well by Mads Andersen. Has been all Barnsley so far. Still early stages. Almo tidying up. Side flag is up against Connor Chaplin. A defeat last weekend saw Nottingham Forest beat the Tykes with their only shot on target. Barnsley created a few chances in that game. So there were reasons to be positive coming into this match. Barnsley certainly felt they were the better of the two teams in the second half of that game. One problem they did have was getting caught on the counter-attack when they did try to advance a bit too far up the pitch. I'll try and shut that door today. Here's Mokotjo for Brentford. Shut out by Cabaré. Henry comes across to stop him progressing any further. Winger by trade, Dimitri Cabaré certainly was when he was at Doncaster Rovers. Good touch. Chaplin. Challenge comes across. It's put out of play by Janvier. Kamari. Trying to take on Henry, beating him and beating everyone with a cross as well. Luke Thomas hasn't scored since the opening day of the season against Fulham. And he's been lively in the first 15 minutes here. Coming in off that left-hand side, joining in with Woodrow and Connor Chaplin. It's a slight nudge on Upper Halme. Sergio Canos entirely convinced that he should have been pulled back for a foul here. Just leaning into the back of the former Leeds United defender. Handball given against Thomas. Thomas Frank's side drew 0-0 last week at home to struggling Stoke City. Their only victories so far this campaign have come away at Middlesbrough earlier in the season and at home against Derby. Jensen with a cross, not a bad one either. Canos can only flick the header behind to Benrahma. Benrahma twisting and turning and setting the ball back for Rico Henry. It's Benrahma with a little trick, but just took it too far. Scored a few goals last season, 11 in 45 for Brentford. He's a tricky player and can provide a spark of creativity. And his combination with Ollie Watkins will be important this afternoon. And that just shows you just how bad the weather is here. Bradley Collins, who was signed on a free transfer from Chelsea in the summer, slices the ball out. The wind and rain certainly affecting the playing surface. Janssen. Kochu almost getting himself into a real problem. Barnsley have won it back. Woodrow. Wow. Crossed by Cavare. Dealt with by Jean-Pierre. Dominated the ball so far, Barnsley, giving Brentford something to think about with every attack. This place was a real fortress last season. Barnsley ended up going 29 home league games unbeaten across nearly 18 months. This season they've lost their last two Oakwell fixtures, but they're in front here. Cavare under pressure from Rico Henry. Goes back and wins that battle. Jensen comes across, only half cleared. They're keeping them pinned in here. Civic. Best of balls from Jordan Williams, and now they're caught and breaking away down the right-hand side. Dalsgaard trying to deliver the ball into Watkins. Cut out by the Barnsley defence. That's what they have to be careful of, the counter-attack. A smart one themselves. Jensen plays it out wide. Benrahma tries to dance into the box. Watkins waiting in the centre. Barnsley just about hold firm there. Chaplin away. Well, the early goal and the conditions may well give us a right game on our hands here. Certainly appears that way. Referee has allowed play on. Woodrow is offside. Well, he just went a tad too early there, Cauley Woodrow. Offside flag was always going to go up. Wanted that ball played now. Went just a little bit too early. As a result of that, the offside flag was very quick to go up over on the far side. Assistant referee Jonathan Hunt, eagle-eyed. Jean-Pierre's got another problem. Last time it was his hand, this time it looks to be his left leg. Just watch this collision here. Yeah. Particularly helpful. Alex Mowatt falling on him when he stretched his left leg out. Full weight of Mowatt fell on top of it. Sabri Lamouchi is the Nottingham Forest manager. Keeping a keen eye on proceedings today. And to the teams at the lower half of the table at the moment. Let's take on Thomas Frank on October the 5th at the City Ground. Scouting mission. Give him something to think about so far. Forest are quite a high-octane team. They play in a similar pattern to Barnsley. They might well give Brentford trouble as well. Brentford have won a corner here. The retreating Apo Halme has just nicked the ball out of play under pressure from Canos. A small band of travelling Brentford supporters try to urge their team forward. Hasn't been a great first quarter for the travelling team from West London. Jensen trying to rectify that. Jensen waiting for the delivery. It's a near post flick which doesn't quite come off for Watkins. Cleared away by Barnsley, and they're quickly on the march, and that's a good touch and a driving run down this left-hand side by Conor Chaplin. Bit of support is arriving. Thomas, Mowatt, don't get numbers back to stifle the progress, not for long. Sibbick, Cavare, this is Brown, Woodrow. Well, as a former Fulham player, he will have revelled in the fact that he scored against Brentford this afternoon. That wasn't one of his finest moments. Henry. Right by Anderson. Woodrow twisting over on that far side again. Taking away from the sprawling Norgard. They wanted more control in midfield. That's why they put Mokotjo in the centre. There's an extra plank to rely on, Brentford, but they haven't had much control of the ball so far. Game up until now has belonged to Barnsley. Anderson winning it on halfway, quickly turned over, and Watkins could be darting forward here. He's got Jensen in support. Canos is arriving on the edge of the penalty area. This is Benrahma. Good save by Collins. And Jensen couldn't pick up the pieces. He recycles it. Watkins at the back post is beaten to it by Cavare. It's a very quick attack by Brentford, and they maybe feel that they should have done better. Collins with a good save, solid save. The way that he pushed it out of the reach of Jensen also goes down as a big bit of credit for the former Chelsea goalkeeper. First real shot in anger that Brentford have had over the course of the afternoon. Here's Canos, onto Jensen, coming forward with purpose again. Missed by Civic, who was driving in. Well won by Woodrow. Bit of a wrestling match going on. Does have the feel of a bit of a throwback, with the water splashing up every time someone goes sliding in for a challenge. Here's Watkins. And he was trying to hold off Mads Andersen. Thought he should have got a corner. The referee does not concur. What a chance for Saeed Benrahma. Just look how tight that was on the halfway line. A couple of hands up, signaling that they thought Watkins was offside. Shuffled back to Benrahma. Maybe just delayed the shot, and that gave Collins the time to get very quickly off his line and narrow the angle, make himself bigger. Rico Henry. Scooped forward. Kocho. Jensen gives the ball away. Thomas doesn't hang around. Still driving forward. Thomas goes for goal himself. The ball seemed to just be too close to the middle of his body, and he couldn't angle his out and away, so he could curl the shot round the goalkeeper, David Raya. He's got to be a little bit careful. And if nothing else, Barnsley always provide entertainment. Now bedding in new players, just like Thomas Frank is too. And they lost Pinnock to Brentford, Kiefer Moore to Wigan. He got 17 goals for them last season. In all, Barnsley lost 4 probably of their best players in the summer, and that does take some adjusting too. Brentford have had a high turnover as well. I think they were expecting a little bit more bang for their buck. 17th in the table, 8 points from 8 games. I don't think that was the return that Matthew Benham, the owner, was looking for when he spent over £30 million this summer. Good touch by Thomas to keep it in, just about. Williams is in support. Has to try and cross the ball instead. Back well by Mowat. This is Brown. Okay, Henry sticking to his task. Good ball by Benrahma. Cannot control it. It's slippy. First touch just took it a bit too far away. There's the hurdles. Kocho wrestling for the ball with Mount and Civic. Away comes Williams. It's tidy from Barnsley. Well, they've grafted, they've worked incredibly hard, they've adjusted to the conditions well, especially as the game has wore on. They've got themselves in front three, including Brown on that right-hand side. Thomas, Chaplin, behind Woodrow certainly caused problems for Brentford. They're not giving that back three a moment's peace. Sivak. Benrahma gets squashed. May well have left a little bit on him there, and the referee allowed play on for Brentford. Cavare under pressure does well, calm and rather collected, floated forward by Anderson. The Barnsley folk over on the far side, the east stand, have just retreated further up towards the back of the stand because of the weather. Torrential rain. Pitch by Apo Halmek. For very long, it's back with Brentford once more. Watkins dropping deep to pick the ball up. Now going beyond as it's sent wide out on that left-hand side. Joe is chasing it. Brown funneling back, helping out his defence. Woodrow does well to control it, tosses it over the top, and Thomas is charging forward. Goalkeeper's come a long way out. It's set back, and Connor Chaplin can't finish because of a block from Pontus Jansson. David Raya went a-travelling, and despite coming very quickly off his line, he didn't get near enough to the ball. Delicate ball over the top from Woodrow, misjudged by the goalkeeper. Chaplin's effort blocked by Pontus Jansson, and his goalkeeper would have been very grateful for the save. Some concern here that Luke Thomas has rolled his ankle. He's just getting some treatment from the physio staff. Barnsley preparing another corner. Just that collision there. The goalkeeper, I think, did the damage. Maybe hoping it's something that he can run off. Pontus Jansson hasn't had the best of times since moving from Leeds. He switched Yorkshire for London in the summer. A few eyebrows were raised about his transfer. Former Malmo, Torino and Leeds defender was quickly installed as the Brentford captain. He's going to take the corner. Thomas is still off the pitch. There's a collision in the centre of the penalty area, which left Connor Chaplin on the floor. Brentford looking to try and break. They may well do it. Benrahma. All tricks. Jensen looking for Watkins. They're level. Brentford score for only the second time on the road this season. Both goals have come from Ollie Watkins. If Brentford are going to score, it's probably going to be him that does it. His 5th goal of the season has come from a Barnsley corner. Benrahma did really well to hold it up on this near side. He spotted the run of Jensen. He was just about onside there, Jensen, when the ball was played. It was a delightful cross into the box, and it's a poacher's finish. His conversion rate in front of goal this season has been really good, Ollie Watkins. And he's there again to drag Brentford level. It's Barnsley 1, Brentford 1. He's been used as a false 9 over the course of the early part of the season. I think there were a few concerns about his qualities to hold the ball up, but when he's in the box, he can finish. 80% of their goals before today. That ratio has increased with that 2nd away goal of the season. Canos. Look into the air. Kocho trying to help it on. Maybe just a bit too physical. Now Brentford was certainly stunned in the opening few seconds of this match by that goal from Cauley Woodrow. Barnsley took a grip on the game. Maybe they'll feel a little bit disappointed they didn't further their lead. Thomas is back on after his treatment. Interesting to see just how much movement he's got in that ankle. Whether he can get back up to full speed. Just moments before Brentford equalised, it should have been 2-0 to Barnsley. Connor Chaplin with only Pontus Jansson between him and the goal. He's out for a Barnsley corner. And within seconds, Brentford were level. Mowat. Thomas is dispossessed by Dalsgaard. To his 2nd year at Brentford. He's started out as a right back. This cross is a heavy one. Well, this is the collision just prior to that break involving Canos and Connor Chaplin, which went unpunished from that set piece. There was a breakaway. Now, is there any suggestion there that could have been a penalty? Canos might think he got away with one. Brentford fans will point to the fact that just prior to that, Connor Chaplin just bumped into David Raya. Here's Watkins trying to steer it beyond the goalkeeper. Does that, hits the bar and the post, and then Benrahma sends it wide. 3 chances in 1 for Brentford to take the lead, and they've missed the lot. Well, it was a high hopeful ball which the Barnsley defence didn't deal with. They wrestled with Watkins, he hit the post first, then the bar, and then Benrahma really should have scored. 1 chance goes a begging, then a second, and this might be the worst of the lot. Well, from a position where they looked like they were going to allow the game to run away from them, Brentford should be in front. A quite remarkable sequence of events. Westgard with a throw. Chasing, but Jansen has got it back to his goalkeeper, just about. Always tricky in these circumstances to play it so close to the goal mouth itself, especially with the conditions as they are. Well turned over by Kamare. Barnsley have got a chance to break here. It's a little bit slow in their tempo and imprecise with their passing. Brown. Now by him, gives Brentford a free kick. It's just 4 minutes before the half-time break. And Thomas Frank said he was happy with the defensive side of the game, but he also said that scoring chances was required to accelerate the progress of the team. Ollie Watkins has one, but he should have had two. Benrahma, 14 assists last season. Looking for Watkins, who's out-muscled. Jensen gives it away. Conditions certainly playing their part now. Just as a case in point, Thomas slips at the vital moment. Mokotjo gets it wide, quickly onto Watkins. Canos waiting in the centre. Benrahma. Watkins. This is Jensen. Trying to pick their way through a tight knot of red jerseys. Eventually a foul's given. Now it's the offside that's given by the assistant on this near side, Lee Venamore. Kochu was slow coming back from an offside position. On the other side of the pitch. He felt he was pushed. He's trying to articulate to the referee. He didn't just throw himself into that advertising board. Just watch Jean-Pierre. It looks like a push, doesn't it? I don't think the linesman was actually paying attention there. He was looking down the line. Jean-Pierre certainly had both hands on the back of Woodrow's shirt. There'll be 3 added minutes at the end of the first half. Mare. Daniel Stendel shaking his head, knowing that this game was in the palm of his hand after about 25 minutes. The pendulum has swung towards half-time in favour of Brentford. Canos trying to get the better of Williams, who does well enough under pressure from the Spaniard. The referee's given a free kick in Barnsley's favour. There was a bit too much physicality between the two. I thought Williams done really well. Canos just trapped his arm to ensure that the free kick was given. Since their win against Middlesbrough, Brentford have lost on the road at Leeds, they've lost on the road at Charlton, lost on the road at Preston without scoring. They have scored here. They could have had a couple more. Sibbott. It's confirmation of that added time, 3 at the end of the first 45. Alme's got to be a bit careful. Collins' distribution is a little bit better this time. Alme trying to keep it in, couldn't do so. Canos getting Brentford back on the front foot. And the Bees sting again before half-time. Canos. He used his arm to control that. Certainly the accusation from the Oakwell crowd. Woodrow just on his heels a bit. Oh, it gets fouled by Jean-Pierre. Cavare, encouraged to bound forward, does just that. Brown with a cross, and Janssen comes across in front of his goalkeeper and decided to take charge, just in case. David Raya just having a word with Pontus Janssen, who apologises for nicking in front of him. It is a corner to Barnsley. Here's the cross in towards the near post. Easily headed away by Pontus Janssen. Watkins trying to speed clear. Don't have the trickery to take it beyond Luke Thomas. Woodrow. Williams. Brown trying to force the ball forward towards Connor Chaplin. The offside flag went up very late. These two teams will go in at the break with renewed instruction from their managers, head coaches, renewed direction, maybe 23 new shirts as well. Well, the lowest and the second lowest scorers in the EFL Championship both managed to find themselves on the score sheet. Cauley Woodrow's goal after the 62nd mark put Barnsley in front. They didn't capitalise. Ollie Watkins got Brentford on level terms and then had a great chance to make it 2-1 just before the break. Another 45 minutes of entertaining football to come at half-time. It is Barnsley 1, Brentford 1. Commentary to come in 10 seconds. Welcome back to our coverage of the EFL Championship match from Oakwell. We're at half-time. It is Barnsley, the home side, 1, Brentford 1. First goal coming from that man, Cauley Woodrow, in the first 59 seconds of the game. Only for Ollie Watkins to head Brentford level in what has been rather tricky conditions, as you can see. The Barnsley players have all come out in new home jerseys. And Ollie Watkins and his Brentford teammates have got new shirts on as well. relentless rain in that first 45. Brentford dominated the ball, and the tide certainly turned at the end of the first half when the visitors had 2 opportunities, if not 3, to get themselves further in front. 5 shots on goal over the course of the game, 2 on target. One of his hit the back of the net, 2 others hit the post and the crossbar before Benrahma, his strike partner, also fired wide. Barnsley have not won since beating Fulham on the opening weekend of the season. It's been 13 years since Brentford last beat Barnsley. Lloyd Owusu was the star at Griffin Park in a 3-1 win. Barnsley have certainly had the upper hand in recent meetings, but they've only met 4 times in the past 14 seasons. Encounters between these two are few and far between. No changes from either side at half-time. Barnsley looking to make a faster start to the second half as they did the first. Canos is sprinting away, being watched by the defender, and it might well be dabbed in by Watkins. It is. Well, it was a delicate cross. It eluded everybody. Bradley Collins got caught under the ball. Ollie Watkins wasn't napping. Cauley Woodrow scored within a minute of the first half starting. Ollie Watkins has done the same in the second. Worked down that right-hand side. Toby Sibbick looks to have got close enough to Canos at one stage and then just lost him. It was a delicate cross. Collins caught underneath it, just went grappling at thin air. And Ollie Watkins, who hit the post and the bar in the first half, gets a second goal at the start of the second period for Thomas Frank's men. It is Barnsley 1, Brentford 2. No point in hanging around. Jensen. Canos is on his bike again. This time just running out of room. Well, it was a lovely cross from the former Liverpool player. Started at Barcelona before moving on to Liverpool. Beautiful cross for Ollie Watkins to get his 6th goal of the season. Brentford have only scored 7. And they look up for it, don't they? Watkins, Benrahma, offside flag is up against Canos. He needs to just hold his run slightly. It's a very good start to the second half for the visiting team from West London. Watkins winning the ball back. Benrahma, lovely touch by Watkins. It was just a yard or so offside. Sergi Canos. $23,000 Oakwell can hold. It isn't entirely full. But the Barnsley fans would have come here today anticipating their first victory since the opening day of the season, hoping for a first victory since the opening day of the season. They've let this game slip away from them. They had the worst possible start to the second half, but here's Cauley Woodrow looking to do something about that. Navarro. And it's Mowat. 8 goals last season, still waiting to get off the mark, this Alex Mowat. It was a bending shot that was far too elevated. No real trouble for David Raya. Brentford's goal-scoring issues had meant that some were asking why they loaned out young Finnish striker Marcus Forss to AFC Wimbledon. He had hit the ground running with 3 goals in 4 games, but Ollie Watkins has certainly underscored his value to this Brentford team. Watkins is chasing again. And this mops up this time. Navarre being chased by Ben Rama. Done past him and Mikochu. Henry doesn't think that went out. And Ben Rama is threatening to escape. Watkins. Canos is offside again. It was unnecessary really, because there was a lot of green grass to run into. If it just delayed his run, Thomas Frank's men will be in again. Ball is on for them though. The high line that Barnsley are defending. A couple of delayed seconds and Canos would have been in. Thing for Barnsley is that getting one right from the start when Brentford weren't set might have been one thing, being able to take them by surprise, but breaking them down on the second occasion might be difficult. This is a side that don't concede too many goals. Only Swansea and Leeds have conceded fewer than Brentford this season. For today, they are usually watertight, which might be useful on a night like this. Here is Canos. Sloshing his way into the penalty area again. And that's a mistake by Thomas. Norgard trying to exchange passes with Watkins. Watkins again. Fancies it today, doesn't he? Ben Rama. Sibuk and winning that tussle. Johnson trying to squeeze that ball out to the right-hand side. The idea was right. Mowick trying to benefit from the counter-attack. Dalsgaard is out of position. That's poor. Canos is away again. His decision-making certainly has to come under question. There was no need to pull back the defender. If he'd timed a couple of his other runs a little bit better, Brentford would be in an even more favourable position. There's no doubt, though, he is an outlet on that right-hand side, Sergi Canos, and has certainly grown into his role as the game has gone on. By Rico Henry. This is Cauley Woodrow. Luke Thomas skipping away from Henry. Looking to try and divert that into the path of Connor Chaplin. Pierre was to Brentford's rescue. Good throw taken. Good turn by Mowatt. Trying to play in Woodrow, almost came off. Jean-Pierre stepped out, intervened and released Watkins. Then Ramos shooting through the centre. Barnsley managed to delay the counter-attack. Not for that long, offside flag is up. This occasion it's a little bit tighter than normal. And Canos is absolutely furious. It is becoming quite an open game. Shouts of handball against Brown. They turn the ball over here. Okocho sends it out towards Canos. It was tight, but I think it was the right call. Canos read the bounce of the ball better than Jordan Williams. And he's sprinting away from the full-back. Williams has got to stick to his task. Crossed by Jensen, diverted behind and away by Kabare. It's a Brentford corner. They're bossing it at the moment. Just come out more fired up than they were in that first half. Nudge themselves in front, and they see that this is a game that is here for the taking if they can get further ahead. Saeed Benrahma is going to deliver this corner kick. Dalsgaard is up from the back, same towards the back post. Dalsgaard was lurking with intent. Rico Henry. Good touch by Benrahma. Looking to get it back again, still trying to bundle his way through. As they scramble it clear. Just got to be a little bit careful here, Pontus Jansson. Really stretched now this match. Both teams with attacking intent. When you looked at their goals for column prior to the start of the game, you wouldn't have envisaged that. It's a desperation on the part of both these managers to get a W in the column. He's certainly up for it. Goals number 5 and 6 in the EFL Championship season for Ollie Watkins. It's in level with Borja Baston at the top of the goal-scoring charts. Given away by Rico Henry on halfway, and then Brown is brought to the floor, dragged forward. They wanted the advantage play because there was a break by Thomas on the right-hand side. And they're absolutely furious that they weren't allowed to continue, but I think prior to that they were appealing for a free kick. Henry's turned the ball over here, being dispossessed by Thomas. Mistake. More of an agricultural one by Christian Norgard. Thomas felt as if he was going to get a clear run on goal. Stendel's asking the fourth official, Tony Harrington, as to why the advantage wasn't played. David Webber's given the free kick. Still upset about the advantage not being played, and maybe even the possibility of a yellow card not being given to Christian Norgard. Sibuk and Moet are standing over it. Committed a lot of men forward here, Barnsley. One of those is Cauley Woodrow. Should have done better with the header. That's why his hands are atop his head. Real mistake here. Watch Rico Henry just move off his man, not get contact on the header. Misread the flight of the ball, and Cauley Woodrow, if he was anticipating that mistake, could have taken a touch, got it down, and maybe got a shot away. This goal's ultra important, isn't it? Benrahma tussling with Anderson. Jensen, deflection, narrowly over the top. It's out for a corner. It could have been much worse for Barnsley. Apo Halme's deflection steered this over the top of Brad Collins' goal. And it was only fortune that keeps the score at 2-1 to Brentford. Good delivery that by Benrahma. Jean-Pierre trying to stick his head in and cause some problems. Barnsley about to bring on Malik Wilks. Need a bit more attacking thrust, but they also need to protect their back line. Ollie Watkins has just claimed that he was fouled. Thomas. Diligent from Norgard. Patrick Schmidt about to come off the bench as well for Barnsley. So Chaplin and Thomas are going to be replaced. Bahrain, casual, Benrahma trying to bring Brentford clear. Excellent work by him. Brilliant ball. Watkins is lurking with intent in the centre. Canos is there. Can he score? Into the side netting. Well, what a major mistake from Canos. Ollie Watkins was waiting in the centre for a simple tap-in. Canos fancied his chances. Again, decision-making has let him down. This should have been 3-1 to Brentford. Powering away. Look where Watkins is. Got a chance. Can't quite believe it. Double change. Chaplin is being replaced. Patrick Schmidt coming on. And Thomas is switched out for Wilks. Two changes. 20-year-old Malik Wilks, who has one goal to his name this season. Go out to the left flank, try and cause trouble for Canos and co. Bahrain, looking for Woodrow. Henry smacked that right into the face of Cauley Woodrow from a very close distance. It's a head injury which does need attention. And it's only right that David Webb, the referee, calls proceedings to a stop as Cauley Woodrow regathers his senses. About 4 yards between Rico Henry and Cauley Woodrow when the defender smacked down at full pelt. It's in the mind of Ollie Watkins now. A chance of a hat-trick. An opportunity to go to the league's top scorer. That was his second goal. He could have had a third. Be in the back of his mind if he doesn't secure a hat-trick today. Two goals against Derby. 2 goals here today. Goals last season. Defending that Brentford have got to do now as Wilks comes forward. just inject a bit more pace into that attack. Certainly fresh legs will help at this stage in these tricky conditions. Sivan. Vincent's hassling him, but hasn't come away with the ball. Canos might. Sivan has been penalised for what he thought was a rather innocuous-looking tug. What to do now? Watkins with a header. Canos. Sivan. Twisting away from Jensen. Wilkes thinks he was fouled. Dalsgaard comes away with the ball. Jensen with an elaborate flick. Canos trying to weave his way past Williams. Now Barnsley have turned it over. Wilkes. Woodrow waiting just behind Schmidt. Wilkes has gone beyond Dalsgaard into the penalty area, looking for a penalty. Can't believe he's not getting one. It did appear that he was waiting to get into the box before going down under the contact of Dalsgaard. Certainly Dalsgaard was using his arms to hold him off. It may well have been a pullback by the day. It's difficult to argue that he wasn't impeded. Spread wide for Canos, and Watkins is at the far post. Can he be picked out? He can, you know, and Brad Collins can't keep it out. And Ollie Watkins has his first Brentford hat-trick. His first hat-trick in professional football since New Year's Eve 2016. That was in League Two for Exeter City. This is in the Championship for Brentford. And it's a masterclass of counter-attacking football. Look at his role in it. He starts the attack by funneling the ball to Benrahma. That's a delightful pass by the Algerian. The cross isn't bad from Canos, and Brad Collins going the wrong way isn't strong enough with his left hand to stop Watkins from completing his hat-trick. He is now the Championship's top scorer. Barnsley 1, Brentford 3. And Brentford really have turned this game on its head. And Barnsley are going to suffer yet another home defeat unless they can score twice. And bearing in mind that they'd only scored 4 times in their 8 matches before today, it looks unlikely. Certainly a long way back now for Daniel Stendel and his team. They will suck the energy out of them. Guevara. They are going to respond, they're going to need to do so quickly. Moen. Trying to find Wilkes. can't do so. Interesting that that's goal from Watkins came very quickly after Barnsley thought they should have had a penalty. May well be a talking point after the game from Daniel Stendel. Wilkes. Siver. Wilkes again, he's got support. Williams. His cross is pushed behind by Norgard. I don't think he was intending that. Corner is sent towards Wilkes. He claims it took a deflection and goes out for another corner. Take this one. It's an outswinger. Either way by Pontus Jansson. Williams will try and keep it alive, but Benrahma got there first. That was a mistake by Benrahma. Williams can't take advantage initially. Good feet by Mowat. Woodrow's waiting in the centre. Schmidt's effort doesn't trouble the target. Conditions very difficult, lots of slipping and sliding. It's a decent cross from Mowat. It's too far away. Barnsley going to make their final change. And Cavare is going to come off, and Mamadou Thiam is going to come on for Daniel Stendel's team. Forward option. Here's Wilkes. Putting the ball against the legs of Jansson and winning another corner. Are they going to make this change prior to the corner being taken, or wait until it has been done? We'll leave Cavare on for just one more set piece. There's a bit of wrestling going on in that penalty area. Alme was being held back. Woodrow can't get it out from under his feet, and there's a chance of a counter-attack for Brentford here. That's the most precise of passes by Mokotjo. It's the most precise of goal kicks either. Wilkes. Mowat. Canos. The ball is under play now. Gives the opportunity to Barnsley to make their final change of the afternoon. Change of system. Thiam on and Cavare off. Canos. Siver. Wilkes. Couldn't control it. Woodrow trying to come away with it. Jensen, who after a sticky first 10-15 minutes, actually had really got to grips with things in the middle of that midfield for Brentford. It was something that Thomas Frank pointed out before the game. He wanted more control in that area. The longer the game has gone on, that has been the case. Jensen. no hurry about Brentford's play now. They know that unless they are complacent, they should end up with 3 points. Benrahma, Watkins, trying to get it back to Benrahma, succeeds. Could have been 4. It's not the first chance he's missed tonight or this afternoon. Benrahma, touch into Watkins was a good one. The setback wasn't bad. Collins was rooted in the middle of the goal. Hitting the target there, it was 4-1. Woodrow. Challenged by Dalsgaard, and another corner to Barnsley. They've racked up the corner count, especially in this second half, but haven't made the most of these set-piece opportunities. Anderson is up from the back. So is Halme. Easy catch for David Raya. It's a mistake by Matt Anderson. Benrahma, Sibuk. Timing up was the substitute, Tiam. Challenged by Wilkes. Free kick has been given. Apologising for his actions on Rico Henry. This will be a vital victory for Brentford if they can get over the line. They've been tipped by the football hipsters and statisticians for a few seasons. They always appear to be worth investing in on paper, but they are constantly just on the verge of something rather than delivering something special. The combinations between Canos, Benrahma and Watkins have certainly come off for Thomas Frank today. Yeah. Player 1-2, but it might come into Mowatt's path. There was a stray elbow there. Certainly looked as if Pontus Jansson had just urged Schmidt off the ball. The referee was unmoved by it. Williams crossed into the box and all eyes were on Schmidt. Just keep an eye on Pontus Jansson here. Maybe not enough contact to push Schmidt to the floor, although he's still suggesting that he caught a sore one. Well, Barnsley lost Ethan Pinnock in the summer to Brentford, at some cost it must be said. He was integral to the promotion from League One. He's getting a round of applause despite the fact that he rejected an offer to become the top earner at Oakwell. He's actually been dropped to the bench by Brentford in the last 4 games. But he's certainly a player who made a difference at Oakwell and probably will play a big role for Brentford over the course of the season. Well thought of here. Henry. Benrahma. Trying to go through the legs of Sibuk. Tucks him back, and it's going to be a free kick in a dangerous position. Manipulation of the football, rather embarrassed Sibuk, I think. have travelled from West London have enjoyed their afternoon so far. They're going to be a bit of icing on the cake here. I get the feeling Benrahma fancies his chances. He believes he deserves a goal. He's missed 2 golden opportunities in the game so far. Still yet to get off the mark this season. 11 to his name last campaign. Saeed Benrahma. Hardly tests Bradley Collins. It was just a little bit too far out for him. Watkins shifted it back into the path of Janssen and was expecting Pontus Jansson to whip it back in behind again. He's still not happy about that penalty decision that didn't go his way, Patrick Schmidt. Young group, Barnsley. Here's Schmidt. Offside flag is up. The youngest group of players in the Championship. It's certainly a philosophy that Barnsley want to progress with. Dane Murphy is their CEO, and he's got big ideas. He's very data-driven, a bit like Brentford. They favour the money ball system. That's the system that identified Ollie Watkins as a real talent. Have a drive to eventually get to the playoffs. Ultimately, the Premier League is their aim, but their first focus has to be on ensuring their position in the Championship. They need to start winning, picking up points somewhere. Brentford about to make a change. Mokotjo keeps the ball alive. This is Rico Henry. Jacob Brown deals with the advances of Henry. Former Walsall man, Rico Henry. Substitution is now taking place. Josh De Silva, who grew up in the Arsenal Academy, replacing a man who's made his first start since Easter Monday. I would suggest it was a successful start. Slightly confused about whether or not that substitution is going to take place now, because there seems to be an injury which Brentford haven't dealt with, and Mathias Janssen, who's on the floor and needing some treatment. They're going to have to switch around the substitutes. And Mokotjo may end up having to stay on here. And Jensen is going to come off instead. So Jensen is off, Mokotjo will stay on, but Josh De Silva will come on. Part today. The thing that Thomas Frank will want is to lose Mathias Janssen. From Celta Vigo in Spain, where he didn't make any appearances last season. He's been very important to them. Josh De Silva was one they plucked from the Arsenal Academy. It is a like-for-like switch. 5 minutes for Brentford to hold on to this victory. Woodrow, wild with his attempt in trying to release Williams. Mokotjo. There's a little nick on Norgard. He was acquired from Fiorentina for £2.8 million in the summer. He worked previously with Thomas Frank at Brøndby. Played too many times in Serie A. Daniel Stendel has had to integrate new players as well. Hasn't gone very smoothly at all. He will point to the fact that this is a game that they could have got something more out of. It's quite a hefty challenge there from Mokotju. Referee has maybe been a little bit lenient because of the conditions. Jean-Pierre trying to get away from Schmidt. On to Janssen, getting it clear. With the effort and over the top of the crossbar. He's had some chances today. We'll reflect on those. Still awaiting that first goal of the campaign. The former Nice playmaker, winger, sometime forward. Ollie Watkins is taking the applause of the Brentford fans. He's going to be replaced for the final 3 minutes of the game by Nikos Karelis, the Greek striker, who has yet to really make an impact. He himself has only played 27 minutes so far this season, but Ollie Watkins has played a few more minutes than that, and he's got a few more goals as well. His hat-trick today, his first in Brentford colours, takes him to the top of the Championship scoring charts. And that for the team that were, at the start of the day, the second lowest scorers in the Championship this season. Wilkes. This is Brown. Cross was blocked by Rico Henry. Second one turned away by Pontus Janssen. This is Woodrow, looking for a shooting opportunity, but it's always going to be difficult from that sort of range. On his wrong foot. Frustration for Daniel Stendel. Always looks worse in the rain, doesn't it? Be only a second win in 7 matches for Brentford in the Championship this season. Barnsley are struggling against the fellow strugglers, and that will be of concern to their gaffer. These two teams were supposed to be goal shy. They've produced 4 goals in a tricky afternoon conditions-wise in South Yorkshire. They had their chances, took the lead early on in the game, inside 59 seconds, got themselves in front, could have maybe had another goal when David Raya went walkies. Connor Chaplin couldn't convert. Once Brentford got a foothold in the game, they very quickly went in front. And after that, Ollie Watkins has secured all 3 points. The Thomas Frank team. It's 3 points that will take them up the table. derby. Here is Josh Da Silva trying to finish off the chance. The offside flag was always going to go up. 3 minutes of added time at the end of the 90 minutes. Brentford moving up into 14th position with a victory here. Still not the kind of area that they want to populate in the table. They'll be desperate to get up into those top 6 positions and challenge for a place in the playoffs this season, but this will give them a bit more of a platform. Some interesting fixtures to come as well for Thomas Frank's team over the next couple of weeks. Home to Bristol City, away to Nottingham Forest, Millwall, and then 2 big games. Away at Swansea, a tough one on the 22nd of October, and then a Monday night game against Queen's Park Rangers, a big derby before November. And then the congested Christmas period. Benrahma. Last season they were in the best of shape before a late flourish under Thomas Frank. Changed their manager halfway through the season. Dean Smith moving to Aston Villa. Saw the impact that he had in the Championship. Might run through for Schmidt here. Just about something on it by Pinnock. Searching for their first win since the opening day of the season. Have to play Derby next, then Preston, and then at home to Swansea, and table toppers West Brom. It's never easy in the Championship, and the step up has been rather tough so far. Corellis. Henry's at the far post, stopped by Brown. Diligent play by the winger, getting back to help out his defence. Stopping Barnsley from conceding even more goals. Too easy for Corellis to get this ball centred. In this sort of conditions, that could have gone anywhere. Here's Josh Da Silva. Corellis waiting in the centre. Sibbett will clear for Barnsley. Good afternoon's work for Thomas Frank and his team. Showed character as well to come back from a goal down after Cauley Woodrow scored inside 59 seconds. Daniel Stendel still waiting for points. Performance is okay, points not so good. There is the full-time whistle. Barnsley's return to the Championship has not been a happy one. It's been a happy day for Ollie Watkins, his first hat-trick in Brentford colours, his first in senior football since the end of 2016. It is a 6th defeat of the season for Barnsley, no win since the opening day, despite going in front through Cauley Woodrow inside the first minute of the match, but they are stuck in the relegation zone. Performances may well have won them friends, but there have not been enough points so far, and that needs to change. Brentford get their first victory in September, in their last game in September, and Ollie Watkins walks home with the match ball, having scored 3 times at Oakwell to make it Barnsley 1, Brentford 3.